Hey, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Sorry to be coughing as we started. Poor timing.
Lisa.
I'll just sit here and hold Norman.
I just love that
I
too.
do too.
Cutest. Oh my gosh, they did such a good job. And that or amigurumi, whatever it's called, is so hard.
It is. It is. But look at that little tail.
I know
Little
it's perfect.
squiggly tail.
See, to me, I remember when you first shared this and you said that the person that made that for you was feeling like it wasn't a great rendition of Norman, and I thought it was perfect.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Hi, Milk and Honey Heritage Farms.
Hi, Milk and Honey.
Just so cute.
Super cute. Look at that little pink nosy.
Yes, dang it.
Anyway, I could talk about piglets all day long.
We got three new
I
ones.
could listen too.
I love
That's
piglets.
a fun topic.
Yep.
Hey, Suburban Hillbilly, good to see you.
Hey, Suburban Hillbilly. Oh, thank you, Milk and Honey. Yeah, it is really cute. Someone who subscribes to us made that for us and sent it and said they really liked watching Norman's videos.
Mm-hmm. That was yep, that's adorable. It is.
Norman.
So today we've got Janice with Where to Begin Homestead with us. Welcome, Janice.
Thanks for having me, y'all.
Thank you for joining us. How have you been doing? How was your weekend?
Good. We went to a rodeo.
Fun.
Ooh.
And our daughter is starting to learn how to barrel race. So
Awesome.
yeah.
That's so fun. Hey, our new land. Good to see you.
Mountain Grandma, I'm going to post the link for Janice's channel for you if you'll just pin it.
Okay.
Give me a minute.
Hey, Homestead in the Wood with Dee.
Hey, everybody.
Good to see you.
Hi, everyone coming in.
Hey, Jamie's Country Living.
Hey, Jamie. There you go.
Okay. Whoops. All right.
Yeah, it does sound like fun, a rodeo. I like that.
We haven't been to one of those in forever.
Hey, Gail.
Hey, Gail Southern Living. Thank you for joining us.
So, Janice, what do you have going on over there besides just farming?
That's about it. It's just crazy busy. We just got 3 pigs for meals later.
Mm-hmm.
The calves have all been born. They're all doing good, growing.
Mm-hmm.
Mending fences and keeping everything alive is the main goal.
Those are good goals. And fencing is nonstop. I mean, especially with cattle. I mean, we have it with the pigs, but I always laugh because I'm always seeing cows on the wrong side of the fence here. And everywhere I've lived, we lived in cow country, right? So
Yeah.
there's this cows are always on the wrong side of the fence. Do you have that problem a lot?
No, that was the main thing. I'm scared of cows and horses, and we have 7 cows and 2 horses. So I said, it's all good as long as they can stay on their side of the fence.
So funny.
Yeah. Cows are intimidating.
Yeah.
Cows and horses can be intimidating. I used to ride horses a lot when I was a teenager, but then it had been so many years since I'd, been around them.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, as you get older, you know more about how they can do to you, right?
Yeah.
And I remember standing in a pasture with a bunch of brown Swiss cows who were so sweet. And I ended up standing in the feeder because they just wanted to keep pushing you over. And then I was like, why are you being so afraid of these guys? Push them back.
Mm-hmm.
But
they're intimidating.
Yep. One of ours is but 2 of ours are Charolais Cross, but one is just super massive cow. But she is a sweetheart. Like when I'm mowing, I mow the grass into the fence, and here she comes, just a romping, kicking her heels, catching the grass in her mouth. And she's this big baby, but she doesn't realize how big she is.
Mm-hmm.
Aww. So what kind of goal? So tell us a little bit about your homestead that you
Yeah.
you
And where
feel
you're
comfortable
located.
sharing, and where you're located, what state?
Kentucky. We're located in Kentucky, and we own 27 plus or minus acres.
Mm-hmm.
Um, our son just moved on to the homestead, put his own little house on a couple of acres here.
Awesome.
That's the
Cool.
main goal when we first bought the place, was to
Mm-hmm.
have the kids be able to have this as their long-term home.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, we just farm or homestead it. So our daughters, both the horses are our daughters, but we just keep them here. And so yeah, that's just cows, pigs, turkeys, ducks, goats, chickens, quail.
Mm-hmm. I have a question for you. So it sounds like you guys definitely have every meat you could possibly want. You're raising yourself.
Yes. Yeah, we don't
How
buy any meat from the grocery store.
awesome. So completely self-sufficient on meat. Can you share? Because I've been kind of thinking about this lately. For example, one of my little projects I've got that I'm working on, well, working on a couple little projects. And one of those is making my own yogurt and making um, my own like sodas, because you can do that when you make a ginger bug. So I'm just trying to kind of knock off the things my family loves. And of course, the garden, right? Which I shared my tomato video, but
Yeah.
tomatoes, I'm definitely going to have some. The
Good.
weeds are just freaking nuts here. Oh my goodness. And but I don't, the other veg, like I got a lot of work to do in that department as far as growing the things, because there's so much I'll still be buying, you know. What else do you feel like you guys have covered that you're not going to have to purchase from the store? And
Our
where do
ma-
you feel like your gaps are?
yeah, our main things is I do not bake my own bread yet. I don't know. I just haven't had the time or the energy just to sit down and really make that great loaf of bread.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to the grocery store and we buy dairy and bread.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the only two things that we buy. But recently we bought two Nubian goats
Mm-hmm.
they were bottle babies.
Mm-hmm.
And so next year or the year after, whenever we decide that they have matured enough to breed them, then we
Mm-hmm.
will and be able to venture out on the dairy side
Mm-hmm.
of homesteading. So that's
Mm-hmm.
exciting.
Yeah.
That is exciting.
Yeah.
Be
How
knocking
about you?
another one out.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, be knocking another one out. Like she's going to have the dairy covered.
Yeah, yeah. And your greenhouse and all that stuff. I know you had some issues with a storm that came through, but you've
Yes.
got that back up and running, or
Yes. Yeah. And thankfully, because here in Kentucky, it's been so very mild summer. I don't know if y'all are experiencing that where you're at, or but our weather is just like fall weather or early spring, and it's
Huh.
just I mean, I recorded a video this morning about like I have cabbage, cauliflower, and broccoli planted in the middle of summer, and it's heading up. Like it's as big as my hand, the broccoli is.
hmm.
Awesome.
And it's just growing beautifully. So I think I need to start my fall crops of those and get them in so that at least we'll have that. We have the tomatoes and cucumbers and beans in the tunnel and greenhouse,
Mm-hmm.
which I think that's the only thing that's saving them right now.
Hmm.
But I wouldn't be surprised if the tomatoes got blight on them because of the coolness
Huh.
that's
Yep.
there.
Yeah, we're having the same thing. We're having more like April weather than June.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, I
crazy.
think we've been in the 40s at night,
Wow.
and we have been like right now we're 58. I mean, we've not even hit 80 degrees. Well, this month I think we had one day
Yeah.
but that's it. So it's really but Jamie's Country Living wants to know if you make your own cheese.
Nope, not yet. We're hoping to about this time next year, or like I said, whenever we feel like the goats have matured enough.
That is
Yeah.
something else that I want to do. Leanne over at Mennonite Farmhouse shared a video on making cheese, and she made it look so dang easy. I
Right?
think I could do that.
I-
Where you're looking at it and you're like, oh,
yeah.
I really think I could.
Yeah.
I think I could do that. But I mean, you got to do what for however much you have milk. So we have 2 goats that are in milk right now. So, and my family's not a lot of big milk drinkers. So we
Yeah,
have
us either.
extra milk for that kind of stuff. That'd be cool. Hey, Blue. Hey,
Yeah.
Jan.
Yeah, and Blue, I've been pruning back my tomatoes too, but I worry about the blight also because they're in greenhouses and we got to keep them closed up because it's so cool.
Huh.
Yeah.
So can you, Janice, define cool where you are? Like what temperature you guys, because you're not far from us. We're in
Hey,
Missouri.
Gwen.
Well, this morning it was 58, 59 when
Oh,
I got
sure.
up.
Uh-huh.
Now, I get up pretty early, like with the chickens, but
Get up with the rooster crow. So we aren't seeing it that cold here. And I had radish that flowered on me. And I actually forgot that I had planted it. And I was like, what is this? And it was a cold weather radish. So I think that's why it did it. It was what was it called? A white something or another. One of those like daikons, but that wasn't part of the name. Shoot, I'll have to look and then tell you what it was. But yeah, it started flowering, and I think I know I can still eat it, but from the heat, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I put my hoodie on, Gwen, because it is colder in my house than it is outside, but I'm not opening up the windows because it's damp out because we had rain this morning.
It was a China jade radish from some of the seeds that I got from Indiana Backyard Gardener.
Nice.
Oh, my radishes. I'm going to have to plant more because it's cold. So I planted so much. I tried to do my research on everything that I planted, but there was some things that I hyper focused on a little more than other things. And I think like then you start to see things go awry a little bit, right? So then you're like, oh shoot, what's happening here? I guess I better look into that. And then you learn more about that. You recognize your weak point. I have a lot of weak points going on in my garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, Simply Jan. I know it's crazy. You guys have had it too. We've been in a drought since 2019, and we're actually getting more rain than we've ever had while we lived here. Because usually we don't even have gray days; it's just sunshine and dry.
Mm-hmm.
And yet we're still in a drought, even with the rain. But the problem is that when it rains and it's not getting hot out, plants are rotting in the ground. I mean, my Swiss chard is something you could pretty much grow anywhere, and half my outdoor garden is just not doing well at all.
That's just like gardening. It doesn't matter how many years you've been gardening. The weather is always different. It's always you just don't know how it's you can plan for, oh, it's going to be summer, we're going to do our warm weather crops, but it's times like these that I'm thankful that we put the cabbage and the later cool weather crops in, because now at least we have that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Totally. I can't even get green beans to grow.
Oh gosh. Ours is in the greenhouse and they're growing. They haven't flowered yet, but they're growing.
Well, that's good.
A lot of people, it's interesting to me. We have a lot of people having issues with heat and then issues with cold.
There's a lot of heat down in Texas, like what Gail was saying. I know when I was down in Texas at Halbert Farm, I mean, it was in the 90s, but now they're in the triple digits, and the heat index is even hotter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that I've not been, usually squash is like my easiest thing to grow. I always love to grow squash because it almost feels like I don't even have to give a lot of attention and care to it, and it just grows up for me. but I wouldn't say that's the scenario. And it feels like my plants are growing so slow.
Yeah.
Even though I did wait though, because at the beginning of the season, we still had so much going on with the house and everything that like I didn't want to start my seeds too early because I didn't want to have to do a whole lot of up potting. I've been up potting right and flipping left, but I should have went ahead and done it anyways. So I did feel like I was planting a little late maybe, but still I think it was March, maybe latter part of February, like not that late for this season, right? I would have been fine if I was in Arizona too, which is funny, but so everything's slow, but I've been thinking it's my dirt, but now I'm hearing everybody else and I just wonder if it's the weather or something.
Our watermelon and cantaloupes are outside. They're not in the greenhouse or tunnel. And I kid you not, the plants themselves are only this big. Like, that's all the bigger they are right now.
Yeah.
And we got a later start on them too, but I started them in a pot before I put them out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so, and we had 3 stalks of corn out of, I don't know, like a fourth of an acre. That's all that came up.
Yeah. I planted so many beans and nothing. Like, I think I have 3 plants.
Hey,
But
Gwen, good to see you.
I think, I mean, quite honestly, I mean, I'm not being negative. I'm looking at it from a logical standpoint and a realist point. Like, I started my tomato seedlings and like loofah and all that stuff in February. So there's a lot of work, a lot of money that goes into gardening, and I'm not getting any return. And so we were talking last night, Ryan and I just said, I think I'm done with the outdoor garden. I'm just going to do the greenhouse and stop wasting my time because it takes so much time. And I don't feel like I'm giving up. I've been doing this for almost 4 years now, and I don't like gardening. But I do it because I want to grow food, but you have to get to a point where you're being realistic. Why am I doing all this? And it's sucking the life out of me only to make me angry. So I'd rather focus on more meat and eggs and all that stuff that we can do.
Yeah. Would you say that there's one plant that you are successful at growing outside there though, Lisa?
Zucchini and yellow squash.
Good old squash, huh?
Good old squash. Because, we don't have, for the most part, we don't have the bugs. But I mean, I plant broccoli in the spring. I won't get it till the fall. Cauliflower, this is my last year trying it because we got a head one year. Other than that, no heads. My bok choy went to seed. Swiss chard died. Beans didn't come up. Because it's too cool, and when we get the rain, it's just things are rotting.
Yeah. Maybe, so just throwing this out there, maybe you should try to just capitalize on the success that you have with your squashes next time.
That's what I did this year. I planted probably 3 times the amount of squash that we usually do.
Awesome.
And then the greenhouses, if we don't get hot enough, they're gonna have too much condensation in there, like Janice was saying, and there's gonna be blight. Just because there's no way. I mean, they need to have the airflow. Hey, Bear Truth.
Yep, this is almost July and I haven't even put my shade cloth on the tunnel because every morning when I open it up, we'll have a hard rain like at night. Open it up in the morning and my tomato plants are just drooping because they're so wet.
No,
trying to dry them off all day.
Oh my goodness.
It's awful.
Can you create like a venting system or something?
I can run a fan in there, but then I risk it getting too cool.
Right. Right. And that's the thing too, is because when I don't want to open my doors for the airflow because right now it's in the 50s and the soil is getting colder. The plants are getting stunted because they're not getting what they need. And so, it's really maddening. I'm done with loofah too, Gail. I had the most beautiful loofah seedlings going out. They were vining everywhere. I put them outside, dead.
everyone's talking about they thought
Had
they
the
were
wrong
planting
seeds.
one thing and they planted another. It could be Homestead in the Wood with DC in this one, that maybe the seed that you planted just didn't produce, and you had plantain seeds that blew in there and propagated at the same time or germinated at the same time. Just say it. And I say this because I tried to plant seeds right in my garden, and the weeds are just, if anyone saw my video, like, here's my tomatoes, really, because there's your weeds. Talk about the elephant in the room, the weeds. And what happened was I planted seeds, and I know good and well I pulled them dang things up. Do you know what I mean? Like, they sprouted,
Yeah.
and I'm in there like weed pulling, and then pulled up some of the seeds. So there's no telling what I pulled. I know that's not your case, but I'm just talking about all of the things that blew into the garden. And it's a raised bed garden. I guess it took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting so many weeds. I should have known. I'll be doing that black fabric stuff next year. Jan.
Yeah.
Because I've seen Jan doing that. I know she does that. A lot of people do that, and I didn't. That, and I feel like I'm going to have to refurbish my dirt. I went and sprinkled. I didn't get any of the Kelzyme yet, Lisa, but my husband picked up a bag of this other stuff. It's like only a 222, for the NPK. So we sprinkled that on everything, and I'm hoping it helps. Everything is so slow. We're getting sun. We've had moderate temperatures. We've only been getting down into the 60s at night. And so far, the hottest we've gotten is like maybe 90 degrees, maybe 91. But then they say it's going to be 91 and it's not. So, that kind of thing. So it feels like, I don't know what to expect from here because I haven't been here. Jan, would you say Missouri's seeing a very light summer, or is everything feeling kind of normal? Because I have no clue.
Blue, what is the super soil that you're talking about? I mean, usually, we've had our soil.
Really?
We've had our soil, redone and tested and all that. And
I want my squash to go ballistic because it's not.
Jan said it's normal.
It's normal. Okay, good to know, because I'm kind of digging it. Like, it's really fairly. I mean, we were expecting Phoenix type of heat, but without the dryness,
Right.
just with the humidity. And I'm not feeling like this is easy peasy for anybody that's lived in the Phoenix area.
Gail said pine mulch works the best on weeds for her, and then Suburban Hillbilly uses polypropylene ground cover.
Mm-hmm.
I put ground cover in this year, and I
I
think
saw you do that.
I don't know.
Do you like it?
It's hard to tell. I got nothing growing really.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I can't tell. I think it's keeping with the rain that we've been getting. I think it's contributing to the rotting of the plants.
Jan, you need to do a video of your polk salad. I want to see it. You know what happened when you guys are talking about the condensation that you're seeing in your greenhouses?
Mm-hmm.
We have one of the garages on the property that it doesn't have any ventilation. You know how usually you've got like a little screen thing up at the top for the air to go through? It doesn't have that. And the floor, the cement floor in this garage was soaking wet, and everything in there was like damp because of no ventilation. We had to we've been leaving the door open to try to prevent that. And that's what makes me wonder, is there any way that you could put, like, even if you could make a hole in the top and buy like a floor vent and put a floor vent up at the top. So I don't know what, I'm trying to think of how this would work, but that could be like a vent maybe just to allow more airflow, because then you could open and close it too.
So, Blue, the soil, this is what I can't see it. Can you give us like a brand name on it? Because I'm seeing California super soil, and man, is that stuff pricey, and I'm sure that's not what you're buying.
Wow.
With our tunnel and greenhouse, it's plastic.
Hey, Hey, Bear
it's
Truth.
covered in plastic completely, so
Mhm.
can't be cutting no hole in that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
It'd be
my,
the
my
it end
husband
up being a really big hole, huh?
we put a solid end on it to keep the weather from taking it again.
Mm-hmm.
But we are going to put 2 windows in the back there so I can put a fan or whatever. But usually don't have this much of a problem
Mm-hmm.
with the condensation in there because, like I said, usually it's hot enough we have a shade cloth on it by now, and it's not. Now next week it's supposed to be up in 90s, supposed to be.
Yeah.
We'll see. Hopefully
Right.
it'll help dry some out, but I'm not complaining about the rain. It's making the hay grow, but
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
it's like, you know.
Mm-hmm. We
Thanks,
have
Bloo.
a neighbor up the road who grows and get to harvest their own hay, and the barn is like right off the road, and it's open. And right when they had that barn full, there was a fire, and there was a car out front, and I saw
Ugh.
on, I don't know what I was watching, a live or a video or something. And I guess when you harvest hay, you have to let it sit by itself and air out. Otherwise it can combust.
Yep.
So I don't know if that happened or if somebody stole a car and caught it on fire and caught their whole barn of hay on fire along with it. But
What a nightmare.
yeah, and I've been hearing about there possibly being a hay shortage this year. I don't know if that's real or not, but the fact that you're getting hay going at your place is wonderful news.
Well, we usually take our cows to a friend of ours that has bulls,
Uh-huh.
and he said no. He said you'll have to bring the bull to your house because don't have that much grass. So
Mm-hmm.
the bull will be coming to our house next weekend, I believe. But yeah, ours is still growing. We was able to put the cows out on it
Mm-hmm.
just as the rains was getting here. So
Uh-huh.
it's already tall, but it's keeping the rains is keeping the grass and the hay growing now. So
Awesome. Yeah, we don't. So we would love to have cows, but because we eat beef, but we don't, gosh, we'd have to put in fencing, and oh my word. Thank you, Bear Truth. Appreciate you. Hey, Arc Wildman Survival. Good to see you.
Hay on the plant. Hay life in the Piedmont. Teresa Ellis.
We couldn't do the fencing here, and we don't necessarily have like pasture. We're more like, I don't know. I don't want to call it mountains because this is not like mountains where that I'm used to
yeah,
at 7,000 feet, But this is very rolly, um, very hilly, and a lot of just forest, honestly, which we love because we hunt.
yeah.
But hey, DNL Treasures, good to see you. Hi,
Hey,
Don
Don Ray
Raven.
B. Oh, Scratch and Pete sent a love raid.
Oh, thank you, Scratch and
How
Pete.
sweet. Thank
That
you.
is awesome. He is the bomb.
He is. He is. So, what kind of goals do you have for yourself for this year, Janice?
Starting in January, we put the 3 goals out was to get more chickens
Mm-hmm.
because, like, I'm not sure if y'all know about the varmint that got all of our flock, but
Did you
uh,
figure out what it was?
the weasel, mink, whatever. He's
Mm-hmm.
yeah. We figured it out, and he's not going to be killing any more chickens.
That's good.
And then we want to learn how to make our own soap,
Mm-hmm.
and start the farm stand, which the storms with all that going on with the tunnel and the greenhouse, and I look at it like, okay, we wanted to do that
You
farm
keeping up
stand,
with the Griffins?
but now we had those storms, but now this weather, so maybe that was a way of keeping us from starting that, and then maybe given up on that because it was,
Mm-hmm.
the weather was bad. But
Mm-hmm.
so next year or this spring is when we'll be starting that. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
excited about it.
Awesome.
Yeah. Got a pop-up camper to reconfigure into a farm stand and
Mm-hmm. What do you feel like? So it sounds like one of the questions that was going through my mind with your goals, and this is something I always think about too, is what's my biggest challenge, and checking back on those goals I had in January to see where I was at. What have I not done? What do I feel like I'm still working on? And then you think about those things that got in the way. And you mentioned something that got in the way with your farm stand. But how are things doing with the more chickens, and the making your own soap?
Hey, Pete, thank you.
the chickens, they're great.
Awesome.
We got
Mission accomplished then, right?
one down.
Down.
Check.
Yes, it's a big check because I've missed
So
those
hard to take
chickens.
on.
But the
Mhm.
main thing was to keep them safe, be able to keep them safe.
Mhm.
But yeah, the learning to make the soap, I have not ventured into the whole soap thing yet, but I have been making my own deodorant,
Mhm.
and then
Awesome.
laundry soap we have made for years.
Mhm.
But so hopefully with the new being goats, we'll venture in. And I didn't know that you could use powdered goat milk. And I think I'm gonna do that
Mm-hmm.
because I've been watching that June is Dairy Month collaboration and I've
Uh-huh.
learned so much. But I think I'm going to practice on learning how to make the soap.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna buy like the powdered goat's milk for now. But
Mhm.
I keep that on hand all the time
do you?
because that's something that once the piglets are weaned, I use that powdered milk. You know what I mean? Usually what I
Yeah.
do is I take a scoop of it and I put it in their feed when their feed is soaked just for some extra nutrition.
Mhm.
That's good. That's good to know that too.
Yeah, and I also have it on, like, I have milk replacement for the piglets if I need it, and colostrum, and then I have that Meyenberg powdered goat milk just in case I have
I
a
love
bottle
that
baby.
plan.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You guys got me adding another one to my to-do list, and that's making powdered goat milk, because we got plenty of goat's milk. But when we had the surprise baby goat on the property, um, my husband and I were outside. It was right around firefly time, and we love to take the dog out there because our dog, our black bear, she loves lasers and she loves flies. Those are She'll go after flies and she'll go after lasers. So when she's outside, we say, "Look, bear, it's a laser fly." And so we were outside and heard this sound, and we thought it was maybe a baby deer because nobody was expecting a baby goat. And when we went out there, we found her, and my husband got her because she's just like, the mom wasn't accepting her, is what was happening. And we picked her up, and I called the kids and was like, "Get out here, we got a baby." And so then Katie was on it. My daughter is an amazing goat lady. And she went to milking the mama, but for like the first minute or two, just enough for me over here, like, oh my gosh, get milk out of that goat, this baby's hungry, right? For the first minute or two, the milk wasn't coming, and then I had this flash of, I'm already going to problem solving mode. What are we going to do if this goat doesn't produce milk? So you guys just answered my question for me. I need to learn how to make some powdered goat milk. Then I won't have to worry about stuff. What is the shelf life on that? You all
I don't
know.
know. I usually just think a year for myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't
Roughly.
anything powdered like that. I'll put it in a different container and stick it in the freezer.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I need it, just bring it out. But however many scoops I need is.
Yeah. I love that. Okay. You could start making the soap without the milk, though, right?
No.
You didn't. I mean, you didn't.
No. I
Just
don't know
make sure you're
nothing
using the right lye.
about. Okay.
Yeah.
I made
One of
soap
these-
for 3 or 4 times, and I was like sitting there, and you know when you're in the grocery store
I
and you go to,
remember. Yep.
yeah, you go to get a can of green beans, and the second can is now peas or something, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah,
Amazon took me down a spiral and gave me the wrong lie.
yeah. So there's a lye that you make for one has potassium in it and one has sodium in it. Like the potassium is the one for the liquid soap, right, Lisa?
I don't remember off the top of my head, and I'm
You
not going to
gotta
say
check.
it.
You just gotta check.
I have to look at the bottle
But
that
you-
says use this one.
Yep. But you only need basically the oil, the water, or liquid, mind you, and lye. So you could actually practice your soap making now and even try a batch without having to put milk in it. Because my understanding is the whole milk adds a little bit of complexity to it. Because then there's a fat in there. You could get into like super fat issue. I don't know. I've nerded out on it, and I got a book. I got your book too, Lisa, right behind me to mail to you. But there is a really great book out there. Hold on, I have mine, but I got Lisa the same one because I'm so impressed with this book.
Yes, Suburban Hillbilly, the right lie. Drain cleaner.
Soap crafting, and then check it out,
Yes.
Janice. I don't know if you're like me, but I like pictures.
Yes.
And it's got all kinds of like pictures, and then there's the sorry guys, let me see if I can. There's
Wow.
the recipe. It's really, really nice. And then it has like basic recipes, and then look, it shows you how to pour stuff. You know how you can get all fancy with that.
Yeah, I gotta learn all of that.
See, you need this book.
That's
It's
gonna
not
be a
real
winter
expensive either.
project.
I got it on eBay.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, Soap Crafting by Anne Marie Fiola, Faiola. It's awesome. So I'll tell you what gets in my way of getting stuff done is I feel like I have to like study it forever. I mean, years.
You get stuck in the researching.
I get totally stuck in the researching. Like I haven't even made soap yet, and I've been telling Lisa I'm going to. I need to be challenged, Lisa. Tell me to do it.
See me, I think I watch one video and I'm like, yes, I can do that.
And then
But then I
we watch
fail.
your videos.
I show
No.
failure, and it's okay.
I watched all the videos. I
Mhm.
did 3 batches of soap or whatever and had the wrong lye, and it wouldn't set up.
And it wasn't supposed to.
And yeah, it wasn't supposed to because it was
Little
for
did
liquid
you know
soap.
you just made tons of soap, though. Tons of liquid soap because it's concentrated.
But wait, then the liquid soap would get solidified in the jar, but not like a bar. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I'm like, whatever. Whatever. And I'm like, no, I'm done. I'll do it again. I just have been lazy.
we need to challenge. Let's do a challenge. Let's see if by next week, Janice.
Oh, no.
Next week.
Come on, Lisa.
No, give us like a month.
Really?
Yes, please.
What if, okay.
I have to order stuff.
Oh, plus, hey, what if I give you 2 weeks? Because actually I was going to see about not doing a live next Tuesday since it's July 4th.
That sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
I'll
if
have
we
to play
have
it by
2
ear because I've got piglets coming the first 2 weeks
Oh,
in July.
you do. I'm gonna try to make sure that I do it. Janice, you gonna try to do it? Do you have the stuff, Janice?
No, I don't have anything yet.
Hmm.
I have to buy it.
You're gonna have to get it.
Yes.
I wonder how much how much lye does it take, Lisa?
Not much. You
Okay.
buy
I
a bottle of it. It's not bad. I have all the supplies.
Yeah.
We have a store
So it takes 3
about 40
ounces.
minutes away that they have it, but I have to go there.
It takes 3 ounces of sodium hydroxide. And then you need some combination of oils.
Canadian Family Life. I had coconut oil.
The recipe I'm looking at uses a combo of palm, coconut, and olive oil. But the total is 18 ounces. And then you need distilled water. And I'm just trying to think, 3 ounces of lime. Wonder if I could mail you some.
Well, we have a store
That's
that
flammable.
they sell it. I just have to go
Oh, I
there.
can't.
They mail it to me, but you have to, I don't know, the post office gets funny about certain stuff.
Oh, they do, don't they? Yeah, I'm mailing explosives.
Because they'll ask you if it's hazardous.
Mm,
And if it gets in contact with water, it's hazardous.
yeah, that could be bad news. You said you've got somewhere local you could get the lye from?
Yeah, I seen it there at our local Amish Mennonite store.
Okay.
Nice.
It's about 30 minutes, but
Awesome. Yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
Yeah. And then you could use like any oil. Just look for like a recipe online for whatever oil you want to use. Because I think different oils it might require different amounts. Yes. Now I'll actually do it. I don't know why I work like that, but I do.
Milk and honey, I don't know if you can. Sometimes you can. I don't know enough about it, but I bought distilled because we always have to have it here for Ryan's CPAP.
So no on the well water, milk and honey. You got to use distilled water.
There you go.
You probably could if you had to, like at least use filtered. I haven't made soap before, but remember, I've been spending years doing research on it. And apparently, when you don't use distilled water, things can go awry. You can end up with a bar that maybe doesn't solidify in the center, or you could end up with some discoloring. Or I think the big one is, though, that it might not solidify in the center of the bar.
And you might get odor because when I put when I put regular well water in that soap that was the soft one that got a little mushy,
Mm-hmm.
It started to stink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, hashtag for a soap challenge. Should we do it? Oh, see, now I'm really calling myself out, and I'm going to have to make that soap. Yes. All right. Let's do it. Gail, are you going to do the soap with us? Who all here wants to participate in the soap challenge?
I'll do it after piglets.
But my hand's only halfway up because
I'll do it after piglets.
So maybe if I make it a challenge, it could last like a month. And
yeah, we need a few weeks to get
August.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe August.
Okay. You mean like ending in August?
No, like the month of August.
Do it for the month of August?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like that plan.
Of course, I'm being selfish because I have 2 litters coming.
I'm just thinking.
I don't know. I'm a planner, so I like to have time to plan.
Well, we can't do September because we have something else coming up.
Yeah, we do.
Jan needs 6 months.
Soapy September would have been good, though, but we're going to have sourdough September coming up.
Bare truth.
You might like the soap, Bare Truth.
Hi, Maritz's Yarn and Crafts.
Hi, Maritza. Thank you for joining us. Hola.
I like Soapy September, though.
Soapy September. That is a fun one, huh? Seems like too much to do them both, though. What do you think?
What can we do for August?
It's too much for both in 1 month.
Feels like too much. Hey, how about soap for September? And you got to make it in August to have it in September.
There you go.
That might
August
be
soap challenge.
Yeah, August soap challenge. All right, we're going to do it. And I'm still going to try to make sure that I make soap by the time that we have our next live in 2 weeks.
I'm writing it on the calendar for August.
Mm-hmm.
It's my YouTube calendar.
Let me see.
I'm a planner now.
Wow.
Good job.
That's August and see?
I had an amazing planner that I used last year, and this year it's it's devolved to a steno pad. A steno pad, and I do have like this monthly planner here that I have been using actually just to remind myself when I planted stuff. That's the main thing I've been using for that, but yeah, steno pad. I love that because that's like our biggest things. I don't know if this, do you like, that's the thing for me that prevents me from getting the things done that I want to do. That, and I'll decide I want to do a million different things. Like, for example, you heard me call out my newest ones, the yogurt, which I have to make because the milk is going to go bad if I don't hurry up and make it. So, and it's really not hard in your Instant Pot. You just got to add in, like the first time you make it, you have to add a culture in there with it. I've watched a couple videos on this.
You have an Instant Pot and you haven't made it yet?
I have an Instant Pot and I have not made it yet. I've had an Instant Pot for years.
I don't have an Instant Pot just because I refuse to buy any more kitchen gadgets. But
it's a good kitchen gadget, though. I'm not a big kitchen gadget person.
I have my electric canner thing that they say could be used for something. I don't know. I haven't used that either. But yeah, the thing of it is like, girl, you better get going in that Instapot.
For real. Hey, Huga, good to see you.
You better make that Instapot yogurt tonight.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I gotta go to the store because I gotta get live culture yogurt. Like Yoplait is not cutting the mustard when you're making yogurt. But my understanding is once you have the live, and it takes, it's like you sit almost like sourdough, Lisa, like when you're making sourdough bread, how you got to let it sit overnight or however you want to, it's got to sit for like 12 hours to rise. So the yogurt has to sit too, like 8 to 24 hours longer it sits, the more whey it puts off and the more sour that it will taste. But it'll be in your Instant Pot for like that long. Oh, Milk and Honey, you need to use that Instant Pot. That needs to be your challenge for yourself. You should do that before we meet again in 2 weeks. I tell you what I use my Instant Pot for a lot is rice. I just like to use it for rice. It's so easy to use it for rice.
Gail said the kitchen gadgets are taking over her house. That's exactly why I'm not buying anymore.
I
can't either because I can't stand it. There's no room for everything. And I'm done buying kitchen gadgets.
My only kitchen, I've got a big old mixer, or no, it's a food processor thing that I honestly don't even use that much because I just use the blender. So I got the blender that I use, a crock pot and an Instant Pot. Those are and a toaster.
I'm not allowed to buy another blender. Last time I bought one, I used it to grind up chicken feed.
Did it work?
Oh, yeah.
Because plastic was good and scratched.
So you just, go out there to feed, and all of a sudden you got baby chicks, so you got to have feed for them.
Yeah.
So you grind it up in the blender.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So I'm not allowed to get one of those no more. So
I don't know. It sounds like maybe you need to have a really good one, like a good commercial one.
No, it ain't gonna.
No.
It ain't gonna happen. I tried to crush up oyster shell in a little food processor. Because I had chicks and I wasn't gonna I bought the wrong bag or something. Yeah, I ruined that whole little food processor.
No kid. What about coffee bean grinder?
I have one of those for my herbs and stuff.
That's what I use that to grind up little things. I guess I'll have to be careful with I don't know. I've never tried to make my own feed. What were you doing? Corn?
Yeah.
Those are pretty hard.
Dry and hard.
We live so far from a feed store, and it's the weekend or whatever, and you're like, okay, if you can just get them to this, we try it. Well, things that we do for our animals.
Right? Oh, my goodness.
It's so true. I would do anything not to have to drive an hour to Rapid City.
Oh, my gosh. I saw your video where you actually had to drive there twice.
Yeah. And here's the funny part. If they didn't have it, I would have had to go an hour north to spearfish, but that's on the highway. Coming back home would have been an hour and a half. But I was fully prepared to go because I was like, I am wasting all of this time in one day.
Mm-hmm.
I am not doing this another day.
Yeah. That's awful. I hear what you're saying though. We used to, when we were in Arizona, we were 35 to 40 minutes from Flagstaff, which was like the bigger town where we'd get stuff. Otherwise, our little town, we had a Safeway and that was it. I mean, other than little vacation shops, that was it, period. Oh, no, we had a Dollar General. So Safeway and Dollar General. That was
There's always a Dollar General.
Isn't that
Not here.
Part of their business? I know, but it's funny. It's part of their business plan. It's like every 10 miles or something.
Yeah.
Really?
It's hysterical. I read it a lot. And when I was in North Carolina, I was reading about it.
Well, they did it. They did it here anyways.
So
Yeah, I know. The ones in town here are the worst.
Mm-hmm.
In our little town, we have a bank, a little itty bitty thing, post office, and a gas station.
Nice.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of nice to not have things too close like that too, because that speaks to being rural, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when I go to town, which is like where a grocery store is I'll get it's a day event. It's you're gonna get your feed, you're gonna get your
do it all
or whatever, and
yep. And you're there long enough that you know where the clean bathrooms are.
Oh yeah. Fleet Farm is really good here, just so you know.
One of those things people don't mention, but for real.
You're getting another raid apparently from Danny Days.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Danny Days. That's awesome. Hey,
everybody's coming to see Janice.
Everybody.
You are loved. So Gwen, Broke Cowgirl Homestead, said she got a real grinder for making cornmeal and flour. So that's what we need.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. No more blenders.
Yeah. Hey, DJ's Cartoon Universe.
Thanks for the love raid.
Thank you so much.
Oh, CB, I feel you. I feel you. See, we live where we live here for a reason, and it sounds crazy, but we are not far from town, and also in town there's a hospital, there's all that kind of stuff. We can get hardware store, grocery. I would say the hardware store we use all the time, but and we love them. I mean, but there's enough stuff here that we can get what we need. But the reality of it is it's expensive in town, right? Because it's a tourist town. So we do travel to Rapid City, and you can't get everything. You saw I had to buy frozen fruit for the freezer jam, because even when I went to the big box stores in Rapid City, the fruit looked terrible and it was expensive. And it was like, that means I would have had to make that. I would have spent money on crappy quality, and then I would have had to quick make the jelly that night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because raspberries mold and stuff pretty quickly. Yeah. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Hey, Charles.
So I mean, that's the thing. But that's why we chose to live where we are, is because we're older, the hospital and stuff like that. Because otherwise, then I'm having to travel an hour for a hospital. I didn't want to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Thank you, Danny. Days ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And good to see you, everybody. Hi, the Quiz Cafe. I know there's people that we've missed saying hi to.
CB's heading to the hardware store. I love my hardware store. We have the best hardware store here. Enjoy your nap, Bear Truth.
Aw. Get some rest.
It's rejuvenating.
Oh, look at this, Janice.
Love you too, Danny.
How sweet.
That's awesome. So I think we're going to be helping you get your make your own soap goal totally knocked off before September.
That'd be nice.
Yeah,
That'd be
soap
nice.
by September, Janice.
I will film the failures.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what it should be called. Film the failures, Soap August.
Right?
You want to know what's the funniest thing though? It's like sourdough, right? A lot of people say that, you know, they're so intimidated by sourdough.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of the times we make something worse than it is, because like someone offered to teach me sourdough and I was like, yeah, okay. I didn't worry about anything. I didn't worry about if it was going to work. Took 3 weeks for the darn thing to rise because I'm in the Siberia and my house was cold in the wintertime.
Yep.
You know, and I put it on a heat mat and all that stuff, but I never freaked out about it. Like I just, every day she's like, feed it. I'm like, okay, fed it. She's like, try feeding it twice a day. Okay, fed it twice a day. Like if it didn't rise, I didn't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like, I just did it. And it's like, it wasn't the end of the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Some people are like, oh my gosh, I fed my sourdough and it hasn't risen in 6 hours.
You know what I think it is, Lisa? So when you first told me this, like, because Lisa was sharing her experience she was having with it and telling me I needed to try, and I was hesitant. I'm like, I'm not ready for a chemistry experiment right now. I've got other stuff. It's not a chemistry experiment. It is liken it to a plant. And most of us here garden. You can grow this stuff. It is a living organism and you can grow it. It is not hard. And as soon as, for me, I felt like when I was like, oh, I need to feed it like a pet. Okay, I got this. And then I started treating it more like a pet instead of, you know, looking at it like a science experiment. Boom. That's like the challenge. Like, I don't know. At that point, that's what just triggered my mindset. And I was just completely relaxed. Yeah.
Hey, Charles, Fallen Arkansas veteran, sending you prayers, my friend. Gail, I'll text you a link for it.
I have not ventured into that. Of course, like I don't do the bread making and stuff yet, but when I do start to do that, then I'll probably venture into the sourdough. But
it's so easy. All you need is flour and water.
Or the other thing is you can make no knead bread. I've been making no knead bread for years. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't make all our bread. I haven't, you know what I mean? But I've made no knead bread and it always worked for me. Even when I was working, it just made life so much easier. And it's a simple recipe. I just wanted to learn sourdough to know how to do it. That was my thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's a good skill when you can't find yeast and stuff like that.
Yeah. Hang on, I'm trying to find that. Milk and Honey wanted me to show her this book. And then here's like the base recipe so you can get a feel for how it presents info. And then it lays out these steps, make the soap mixture. And then look at this nice, beautiful. Let's see, where's the next one?
I think she got it off Amazon.
I got it off eBay.
Oh, eBay. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm still an old eBayer.
Hi, Tuber Chat.
I still love eBay. And you can find stuff cheaper there than on Amazon a lot of the time.
I need to get one of those immersion blenders or whatever that is.
Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah.
Gail, I sent you a text.
It is a great book. And on eBay, so I paid less than $20 for this. And when I say less than $20, I think because you're buying from people, the prices are different each time you get it. One time I got it was less than 10. And then
I like the spiral.
It was like 15. Yeah. Yeah. And it shows you how to do different patterns and things. But every page is like this. It's not just one page. It talks about Lisa. It talks about using additives and using like coloring and
Whoop whoop.
like natural coloring, because I know you really like doing the all natural stuff, which I do too. But now I got all these fragrance oils I got to do something with too. Mm-hmm.
What's the name of the book?
It's soap crafting. You got one coming already, Lisa. You don't need to buy one.
Thanks, Mountain Grandma.
You're welcome. I'll show you. Yours is in bubble wrap.
You don't have to show me.
See here? This one's yours.
Okay, thank you.
I was going to send you some lotion I made and some little sugar bars too.
Aw.
Sugar scrub bars. I was hoping
she's like the grandma I never had.
I love giving people stuff. It's just the funnest thing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Yeah, I like that too, Gwen.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I prefer. I really didn't want to like add all different things and stuff like that. I just want to keep it simple. I've got calendula infused oil.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to do lilacs. I never got to it because I got stricken down. The lilacs are beautiful. When I came back from Texas, the most beautiful that they have been.
Oh,
and then I got stricken down and I said, well, I guess we're not doing that. And I just kept looking at them going, yeah, no.
Did you get to smell them?
Oh, the smell was incredible.
Yeah.
Hey, Life with Linda and Chuck.
Hey there, Chuck.
It was awesome.
I love how lilacs smell. It's amazing.
Does anybody have any questions for Janice? So glad you joined us today.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad y'all asked. It was fun.
Yeah, this was fun. And look
Always
at there. We're going to help you with your soap goal, and we gave you another one on making bread.
Janice is like, thank you very much. I don't have enough to do. Thank you. She's like, why did I come on this live? She's going to get off and go, oh my gosh, I can't do that again.
I got freaking homework.
I know. Tammy pushes, let me tell you.
I have my lazy moments though, but I've been kind of getting on to myself because sometimes like my work, like I love the company that I work for and I love what I do. I mean, we all got to do something, right? Like, I don't know. For now, it's my now moment, hoping to not have to wait till I'm, walking with a cane before I retire. But, anyways, sometimes it'll tap so much out of me because I can go up in my head and work, like I call it mad scientist work, where I'm just really like up in my head. Like the thoughts are so loud. I'm thinking so loud. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but by the end of the day, when I work like that, I'm exhausted and I have to go out and water the garden. Right. So I go out. Hey, Mickelson family. Yeah, we shook things up this week. I'm so sorry.
We like to keep it real. We like to keep y'all guessing.
Yeah. So, which reminds me, I do have another meeting I got to go to, so we got to end soon. But I've been telling myself when I finish working at the day, I need to do something, because really doing the things, that's not like work to me. It's like play. So making the yogurt, making cheese, doing all of those fun things, those are fun things for me, and they make me feel accomplished. And I don't know, they provide the substance to my life. Like they provide the flowers in the forest of my life. Do you know what I mean? Trying to figure out
how beautifully said.
I try to make myself super clear.
Wow.
So repeat myself a gazillion times in a gazillion different ways to make sure that everyone understands me.
We gotcha.
Yeah. Hyper focusing is exhausting.
It is.
It's Yes, I do that too, Bloo. My poor hubby. Yes. That's when they pull us out of our head. It's kind of a noisy little process. Well, thank you all so much for coming. Thank you so much for joining us, Janice. Before we end, is there anything you want to share about anything coming up on your channel, things to watch out for, any videos that you've done lately that you'd like to draw people's attention to?
We're just building fence, mending fence, and moving cows.
That's awesome.
That was an experience.
Yes, I bet it was.
I'll bet it was. How about you, Lisa?
Piglets are the biggest thing.
Oh, yay.
Two litters of piglets. Well, it's funny. I say Fiona is due first week in July, and Eleanor is due second week in July.
Mm-hmm.
But Eleanor is looking pretty bagged up, so I don't know. I wonder if Grant actually did not, or actually did do his job the first heat cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we watched him, he seemed more interested in, woohoo, new pen, check this place out.
Yeah, good for him. And you do have beautiful pens.
But yeah,
Oh, so they got it made over there.
But that's about it. And then I'll be doing some stuff talking about raisin turkeys. I've been working on that.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Nice.
And we just discovered today that we're going to be doing a soaping collaboration in August. And sourdough collaboration in September.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned for that. And everybody, there are some great collabs going on. Bloo Self-Reliance, she's doing a collaboration with Kettle Kitchen for Jam It Up June, I think is what it's called.
2.0.
2.0. And then who's doing the dairy one?
Leanne and Angela. I'm sorry, Leanne at the Mennonite Farmhouse and Angela at the Inquisitive Farmwife.
Yeah. If anybody else is doing any challenges, drop them in the chat real quick. Would love to
Rebecca.
Support everybody in that. Now, next week is July 4th. Yay, America.
No live stream?
No live stream.
Sounds good.
We will be taking that off to spend time with the family. And I hope you all, Jar It Up July is about to start too.
Yep.
Hey, Lori.
Hey, Lori.
Hope Nima's doing well.
Yes, yes. So, and everybody, prayers for Charles over at Fallen Arkansas Veterans.
Praying for you, Charlie.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else we need to do a prayer request for?
Not that I can think of, but I could be wrong. So
okay. Everyone, thank you so much. Thank you, Janice. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Thanks, guys.
Everyone, take care. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.